Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Slant.
Yeah, but isn't this the unplugged version? I don't know. I think it's the unplugged version. All right, Paulie, let's go.
Hey everybody, Paulie here, back on the slant, and we have a nice special treat. We're going to break down the first part of season one. I believe it's season one. I think this is it, of Superman and Lois. The first 8 episodes in what is supposed to be 16 episodes, but I can't do it alone. I'm a big fan of Superman to begin with, and I'm pleasantly surprised and a fan of this new season, but I cannot do it alone. So we brought in the best. We brought in Script Doctor to help us get through this and figure out what is special and what is interesting and what to look forward to in Superman and Lois. What's up, brother?
Hello. Oh, thank you so much for inviting me on the slant tonight to talk about this subject. This is going to be a lot of fun. I don't know if I'm the best, but I'll definitely try to live up to that.
Get to which is now the episode 5, which is the spring finale, right, of the way this season has been coming around. They did 5 episodes and then they took 6 weeks off.
Yeah, this is an off-season show. So for those that may not understand, because the CW has so many superhero series in the works at a time, they also only have so many time slots that they can be available for. So they've scheduled it so that Superman and Lois start for, I think, the first 5 episodes at the front of the year. And then after that, Supergirl takes over for another 5 or 6 episodes. And then they come back with Superman again. And it's basically just a rotation. So the time slot will always have one of these 2 shows. And that's just that's what's going on now to just compensate with like the pandemic and the new shooting schedules. And I believe next year it's going to be an off-season show. So it'll always start in January. That's when the premiere will be. So it's not going to be a fall lineup. And that show's going to carry in through the summer because, TV's changed in a lot of years. The summer used to be always reruns, like rarely any new shows. But now things have changed, so people want new content airing in the summer. So you got to schedule accordingly. And so starting a show in January kind of gets you into that area. So and that's what Superman's doing here. Yeah.
So the best of Smallville opens with a festival and ends with we get Captain Luthor's more of his backstory by the end of this episode.
This is the This is the one where Jonathan gets really drunk, and Jordan and Sarah kind of go on a sort of first date.
Right.
And trying to think what else is there.
So from these notes that I have here.
This is the sun comes back and he accidentally catches the Harvest Festival on fire, destroys everything.
Right, and the sun being Derek mysteriously returns home to the character Sharon Powell, and at first, where there was something wrong, the mom says there's nothing wrong, nothing here to investigate. Shushes them away.
Yes.
And then the fire breaks out at the community center,
which is caused by him. He has the same sort of spell that Jordan does, a burst of heat vision.
Yep, he just loses control.
Yep, and we're seeing the signs of a cover-up for what really happened, like as Lois starts to uncover based on like a voicemail and figuring out what's going on there. And like some really fun parental moments here as well. So like not only as like before Clark figures out how to find this kid or this young man, he finds Jonathan and Jordan, and Jonathan is wasted, and Lois even makes a joke like, your father's super smell wouldn't even have to pick it up because I can already pick it up. Like he's got alcohol in the breath, and she lays into them with some good parental advice, like you don't do this stuff, and you get this speech sort of at the end from Clark, which is you get one and you just spent it, so don't screw up again. It was a good dad moment. It was a really honest dad moment type of thing, where he basically saying like, no, this is going to be a relationship of trust, not secrecy. And if something gets something gets hairy, so to speak, you come to us, and we will. There's not going to be the type of judgment that you would normally fear, so to speak. Because it was what he was kind of getting at, and I liked that idea because that seems like a Superman thing, where you'd rather have the honesty and deal with it at the time than the secrecy, and then have to lose that trusting relationship he's been building with his kids.
And you're right. And off that, there are flashbacks that we see Clark in Smallville clashing with his own mom, and he even says some snarky things to Martha Kent, saying, "I wasn't sent here to be your son." He's she tried to keep him from taking to the streets as a mass vigilante. He admits regretting leaving home the way he did, so he offered Jonathan a one-time only get out of jail free card in exchange for his son agreeing to give Smallville another chance. So there you go.
This also, I believe, has the park bench, right? That
ends the episode.
Yeah,
that ends the episode. But now we learn some truth about Captain Luthor. His computer reminded him that Lois of this world is nothing like Lois of his own world. He angrily replied, "Everything about her is the same. Everything except that she's married to someone else." Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. That's great, man.
Oh, yeah. It's just, yeah, of course. Like, you got to justify why he's even more interested in Lois Lane. It's not just that she's an ace reporter. It's like, yeah, in the other world, they were married and had their own family, and that doesn't exist anymore.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So it was great ending.
Yeah.
And that's where he's emotional there, commemorating his mom with that bench that they sit on. That's the fifth episode, the cliffhanger.
Well, I think it ends with, I guess, Tag coming back because he was sent to the DOD to help learn his powers.
Right. He was sent away. Episode. Correct.
And so Tag comes back and then just beats the Dickens right out of Jordan. And it ends. It ends. That's the cliffhanger. It ends at. It's just like, yeah, he's got Jordan on the ground and he's
right in the woods attacking him. Correct.
And Tag saying like is telling Jordan that he did this to him somehow.
Right. Good stuff. And then we had to wait too long.
Yep.
But they're continuing on. There are a few more episodes that we have gotten to, and when they came back, it's called Broken Trust. Episode 6, Clark reconsiders his decision to let Jordan play football. Lois' continuing investigation, Morgan Edge, requires her to trust an unexpected ally.
Right. So, yeah. So Tag, I believe, he gets away, and Jonathan and Jordan are they're going back to Metropolis to play the Metropolis high school team, and some of those guys were bullies to Jordan, if I remember correctly. And so Jordan desperately wants to play so he can kind of get a little bit of revenge on them, whip their butts to make them regret picking on him for all those years. And what else has happened in that one? Oh, this is the one where Tag kidnaps Sarah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And I don't understand why he kidnapped her. Like, he goes to her, and then I think he knocks her down, knocks her out, and instead of just staying there with her until or at least getting medical help, he just takes her back to Metropolis for some reason. That threw me for a loop. I was like, that's why do that? Trying to remember. Oh yeah, and so yeah, Superman's goal in this episode is just to find Tag before the DOD does, because they'll probably hurt him.
And then I guess Jordan is having troubles with his powers. Morning headache, near meltdown at school.
Oh yes, I believe the first act ends with him about to let loose some heat vision, and so he does so in Clark's hand on the field.
Dude, that was killer.
That was pretty cool. Yeah,
that was killer. And then he ends up. There's like from 6 to 7. There's like that quick pickup where he's flying to the Fortress of Solitude. That was awesome with Jordan in his hands.
Yeah, just trying to figure out what else is going on, and I guess he's getting Jor-El's kind of reinforcing more, like he's not going to be as strong as you. These things are kind of in flux. Like all the computer data is really just not helping Clark at all understand what's going on.
Yeah, and it says here Clark flies off to rescue Sarah from Tag. Jordan and Jonathan join their teammates for some celebratory drinking, only to run into the off-field rivals.
Yeah, they win the game, which is pretty cool for those guys. And then they go off drinking, even though Jonathan's like, maybe we should stay behind. But then he's like, well, it's a once-in-a-lifetime type of situation. Let's go out and celebrate.
This is where. Sorry, don't mean.
No, go for it. Yeah.
Jonathan holds Jordan back by breaking his own arm because he stops Jordan's fist. Because remember, there was I think it was early in this episode where where Clark teaches his son how to punch and use all that energy and disperse it into that like
giant oak logs.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. This is where it was really humming.
It's a great family moment because first, like, Clark teaches him how to hold his fist properly for a punch.
Right.
And then, he hurts his hand, but he's like, no, you got to focus. You got to do this. And he does it. And it's like this great dad proud moment. Like when your kid sinks that first basketball, like, like, yes, you did it. All right. We're going to do some more of this. We're going to figure it out. And even Jonathan's thinking this is awesome. And like, everybody's kind of right in on it. But then, Clark gets called away, I guess, by Sam Lane again, who is saying they're narrowing down the search on Tag, so to speak.
Yeah. And so then that happens. The episode ends with terrified Clark clutching his son, rushing him to the Fortress of Solitude. Elsewhere, Marcus, Captain Luthor, helps Lois sneak into the mines where they stumble upon a buttload of ex-kryptonite.
Yes. So ex-kryptonite, kind of a new thing, a little bit. I think it's drawing a little bit off of gold kryptonite, but yeah, apparently it can give humans Kryptonian powers, but it's not stable. And part of me thinks that this might be a Deus Ex Machina for stabilizing Jordan by the end of the season.
Nice, like that. I like that.
Might be, yeah. Is this still the no? This isn't the episode where they find the previous episode where they found the weird MRI machine where the transformation happens, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then I guess Leslie, one of the edge goons, tries to prevent their escape, but a single shot from Marcus's ray gun makes quick work of Morgan's right-hand woman.
Yeah, she's like the Mercy Graves to Lex Luthor in this capacity. Yeah, the number one, the first officer, so to speak, the muscle, the one that gets their hands dirty.
So there's a lot of action in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed when Superman finds Tag and Sarah, and he offers to help him, and they said no, they experimented. He's not going to let that happen again. And then the General Lane's soldiers move in, and Superman orders them to stand down. He's got things under control, and then instead they shoot kryptonite-laced weapons at Superman, and and he
Yeah.
stops them, pulls out the shards, and
Pulls him out of his. Yeah.
this
that
is, I
was
think,
good.
where we get another moment where the suit like heals itself as well, which I'm like, come on, just leave the hole in there. That's still cool. Like,
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
and then he gets really close to like, wanting to vaporize these guys, but
Right.
he holds himself back because he's disciplined. And he's like, don't do that again. We've got this under control. And I guess we're left to believe that yes, Superman has found an alternative for Tag so that he's not in a prison anymore, that he's actually going to get the help he needs. And I hope that's true, or at least I don't want them to redo the same sort of story beat again. We're like, nope, he's just in another prison, Tag's getting experimented on, all that stuff. We've already kind of covered that territory. Let's see this new aspect thing if we come back to this character, which I think we will. And the episode ends with Jonathan showing his own type of superpower, so to speak. He, as you mentioned earlier, blocks a punch and breaks his wrist.
Right. There's I've been hearing a little bit of kind of theories online about that, because there's a ripple look to his hand.
Yep.
Like that might be his power emerging to be able to take Jordan's punch.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I would not be surprised if they explored later on that Jonathan is also going to have some powers. They're just manifesting much later than Jordan's.
Right.
And because I would assume, just based on what we saw in that punch at the beginning and what Jonathan did, that his hand would have been obliterated far worse.
Yeah, I mean, it probably would have like punched through all that flesh and bone like it's nothing.
Yeah, I would say that the hand would not even be there.
Right. So now we go.
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. The slant.
Slant. All right, Paulie, let's go.